Yo, no way. No way.
You hear that?
It's February 14th, 2024, a freezing winter evening in the US. Chris Baird, a solo adventurer known for exploring eerie and dangerous locations, heads out on another daring overnight car camping trip. His destination this time? The infamous Purgatory Road, a place steeped in local legends and ghost stories.
Well, now you guys can see where I am. Purgatory Road. There's a car. It's honestly feels pretty comfortable right now. It's not terrible, but it's always different when you're by yourself. There's Spirit Talker. It is on. Hello? I want to look, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Kind of creepy. Alright, Spirit Talker's on in my pocket, so it's probably going to scare me. It's going to scare you too, but it is rolling right now. What the f was that? Swear to God, something just hissed at me. Who just hissed at me? I'm not going down there. Screw that. All right. That was freaky. That was real freaky. Show you guys. I'm not it's like a growl hiss or something. Screw it. Let's go on this side. See if there's anything over here. A whole lot of junk. I wish people would pick up after themselves.
As night deepens, things start to shift. Armed with a spirit communication device, Chris begins scanning the area. The device quickly reacts. Odd words, eerie tones. Then, a sharp hiss cuts through the silence. Chris spins toward the sound, visibly shaken. Something just hissed at me, he mutters, backing away from a shadowy area he refuses to enter.
I want to see what's up with this water. At least for Purgatory Road, I've never noticed there to be water. So it's kind of interesting to me. There's that noise again, see? Who's over by the water? This is the second time I've heard you over here.
Children are playing.
Holy. Are there actually children playing by the water right now? Can you guys come out and show yourselves for me? Make a splash or do something. Yo, no way. No way. Did you guys hear that? That was literally a splash. That could have been a coincidence. Yes, I understand. But that was a splash in the water. If that was one of the children that are playing over here, chills up my body right now. I appreciate you for doing that. That was really cool. It says, don't tell people. It's okay if you guys are out playing by the water. I won't tell anybody. There was a voice. Someone just moved over there, but right before that, I swear I just heard a voice. Like a disembodied voice. Do you feel comfortable with me? Do you want to come out to the road and talk? You can talk into my camera. There's a little red light.
The device continues to respond, and strange noises echo through the trees. But Chris stays put, determined to explore further. He walks toward a nearby water source, something he hadn't expected to find there. As he listens, he hears splashing, then faint voices, children's voices. He asks the spirits to reveal themselves, and in response, hears a second splash.
And I always tell myself I'm never going to do it, but when Dylan and TJ are both busy, what choice do I have? So here I am. This.
What was happening was beyond explanation, and even Chris, no stranger to strange, is stunned. He considers calling it a night and heads back to his vehicle.
What it is about this right now, I know there's a light on, but I'm stretched out, my feet are down, the door's locked. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I could probably sleep like this all night, honestly. It feels good. The only bad thing about the Honda is there's no tinted windows. I wish the windows were tinted. Then I wouldn't feel like people are actually watching me, which I hope they aren't, but Did you guys hear something? Hello? I don't see anything or anybody. That was nothing, guys. That was nothing. I'm just gonna go to sleep now. Toodaloo!
While sitting inside the car, trying to settle in, he hears footsteps nearby. He looks, but sees nothing. Then a knock, sudden, loud. He brushes it off as coincidence, but his camera records something else entirely. Movement outside the car. A shadow approaches the vehicle. Door handles jiggle. Someone, or something, is trying to get in.
What the f was that? What the f was that? What the f was that? Hello? What the f?
Shaken, he decides to drive away. But just before leaving, another sound jolts him. A faint growl, low and close. Some viewers suggest it may have been curious animals or even local pranksters. The voices, and especially the attempt to enter the vehicle, all point towards something more menacing. Could something supernatural dwell on Purgatory Road, drawn to solitude, to fear? Chris left that night without answers. But the camera captured what he couldn't explain. What do you think was watching him through the window? Was it a spirit, or someone with far darker intentions? Let us know your theory in the comments. Just a quick break. If you felt that chill, please hit subscribe. It keeps the horrors coming. Now, let's get back into it.
You hear that?
It's March 4th, 2023, a frigid day deep in the Alaskan backcountry. Luke, the man behind the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys, is well known for his wholesome outdoor content, camping trips, fishing, and family adventures in the wild. But on this particular day, the tone of his usual outings would take a darker turn. Accompanied by his 5-year-old son, Jake, Luke sets out for a winter camping experience using a hammock hot tent setup.
Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and me and my son Jake, we're taking my snow dog out into the wilderness of Alaska to go winter camping in a hammock hot tent. We're gonna be eating some amazing food, having a great time.
Yeah, come in here. What do you think, Jake? Is this a nice tent? You're like a little snowshoe hare. You can float right on the snow. We got a nice bison hide here. Scoot up over here. Oh, you got tucked.
Everything goes smoothly at first. They build a fire, set up camp, and take in the stillness of the frozen forest. It's calm, serene, almost too quiet. But as night settles in and the fire crackles low, that silence is suddenly broken.
Got the fireplace turned around so I can work on it a bit.
You hear that?
A haunting howl pierces through the trees, then another, then several. The sounds draw nearer, growing louder, more menacing. Luke immediately recognizes the danger. A pack of wolves is nearby, and they're not far. He doesn't panic. He doesn't make noise. He remains still, trying not to alert them. The moment stretches endlessly, but eventually, the howling begins to fade.
Gotta use my inReach to send a message to my wife, let her know we didn't get eaten by wolves.
They survive the night without a direct confrontation, but the fear doesn't leave with the wolves. It hangs heavy in the frosty air. The next morning, Luke uses his satellite communicator to send a quick message to his wife, letting her know they made it through the night without becoming prey. Though no direct attack occurred, this incident underscores how vulnerable campers can be in true wilderness. Luke's knowledge and calm response likely prevented escalation, but had he panicked, made noise, or left food unsecured, the outcome might have been very different, especially with a child present. Predatory animals like wolves rarely attack humans, but when they do, it often begins exactly like this, late at night, far from help, with no warning other than a sound in the distance. What would have happened if Luke hadn't stayed quiet? What if Jake had woken up crying? This encounter reminds us how thin the line can be between adventure and survival. Think that was disturbing? It's the evening of August 26, 2024. The sun has dipped below the horizon, but the warm summer air still lingers. In this video, we follow Dan Lee, the creator of Cursed Urban, as he heads out for what he expects to be another eerie camping trip. Known for exploring haunted and obscure locations, Dan is no stranger to the bizarre.
I go camping in a forest that's about an hour and a half north from where I live. There was something even more terrifying waiting for me in that forest than any of that. Tonight's episode is terrifying, and it's an experience I certainly don't want to relive. I hear gunshots. Dude, that's gunshots. I hear gunshots coming from over there. Oh, that's never good.
As he begins exploring, the forest seems still, unnervingly so. The quiet is soon broken by the distant sound of gunshots echoing from the far side of a nearby lake. Though alarmed, Dan pushes forward.
Alright, we are back, and I hate to be this guy, dude. I almost didn't even want to say it. But while the camera was off, of course, I know I'm going to hear it in the comments, I heard some sort of weird, like, sound coming from that way. It sounded like, I don't know what it sounded like. It's nothing I've ever heard before. Something really weird, like a chattering sound almost. But there's no animal that I know of that makes that sound. Alright, we got Spirit Talker on. Let's see if we get see if we get anything. There's been... Oh, that scared me, dude. There's some hikers on a trail adjacent to mine, and... Oh, dude, my heart is...
Not long after, another sound grabs his attention. This one is harder to place, something unnatural. A sound he struggles to describe. It wasn't an animal, it wasn't familiar. He activates his spirit communication app in hopes of understanding what's around him. Then suddenly, laughter. Unmistakable, human. But it comes from deep within the woods.
Oh no, I think I'm going to start heading back the other way towards the campsite. Yeah, I am. Because I don't want to... I know all these people camping can see me, for sure, with my lights out here, but... I don't want to push my luck and get too close to them. I know they're far away, but still.
Dan's heart races. He believes there might be other people hiking nearby, but something feels off. He makes the decision to return to camp, not wanting to press his luck any further.
Shut up. Dude, these people don't stop. Just racing up and down this road.
Once back, he crawls into his tent, trying to get some rest. The forest remains tense, and so does Dan. But while he sleeps, something, or someone, approaches. A flashlight beam scans across his tent walls. Dan remains unaware, resting, until the silence is shattered by the sound of motorcycles roaring through the forest road.
I don't know what that was. I think it was just an animal, but it's just really, really weird that we get others were scared and then we hear something in the next minute outside the tent. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go review the footage real quick that I took while I was sleeping.
He hears something moving just outside the tent. He calls out. No one responds. Looking out, he sees nothing. But the sensation of being watched intensifies. He decides to check the footage recorded during the night. That's when the realization hits. There was someone, or something, near his tent while he was sleeping. Terrified, Dan packs up his gear and leaves the area immediately. Was this just a coincidence of nearby campers and pranksters, or something more sinister? The flashlight, the laughter, the roar of motorcycles at night. It paints a picture of a forest that wasn't entirely empty. Some theorize the area might be used for clandestine gatherings, possibly even rituals, explaining the strange reports Dan referenced. Others believe the experience was paranormal, a haunting triggered by his spirit communication attempts. Dan never returned to that forest. Which story stuck with you? And have you ever experienced something strange while camping? Drop your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If this story creeped you out, you need to watch this one next. It's even more disturbing.